Brodes Media.
And where I wanted to start today, the way I look at this text and this question is sort of a layup, or maybe not a layup, but a warm-up, if you will. When you're playing basketball, you go into the layup line, you take some jump shots, you're getting your body going, you're getting the rhythm going, you're trying to get yourself in rhythm with the game so when the ball tips, you're ready to rock. That's how I view the first question that we are going to start off with, and that's why root for the New York Rangers to lose when we have the Florida Panthers pick. So if you are unfamiliar with the situation, not too long ago, the Flyers traded Claude Giroux to the Florida Panthers at the trade deadline and acquired the Panthers' first-round pick and Owen Tippett. So right now, the Flyers, in their grasp, on top of their first-round pick that they own, their own first-round pick, they have the Panthers as well. And the New York fucking Rangers, who I despise, who I hate, and I can't stand their fans at all. They are the worst. They're scumbags, all right? They are pieces of trash. So there's no way in hell I'm ever going to root for them to win one of the most prized possessions in all of sports in the Lord Stanley Cup. The drought we're sitting in, the fact that the orange and black outside of 2010, I can't even remember real competence, and you're going to tell me that a draft pick that might be 2 picks later is going to be the difference in you rooting for the Rangers or not? That's so silly, all right? There's no way that you can ever convince me that the Flyers should be heavily wanting the Panthers to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals just so they can get, maybe instead of the last pick, the second to the last pick. We're not talking an extreme of, hey, the top 8 or somewhere in the 20s, in the late 20s or in the 30s. That's not the extreme we're talking here. So it goes on to continue and says, isn't the Flyers' future more important than anything else? And to a degree, yes. But I do think I perfectly just laid it out that there's no way, shape, or form that the difference in a couple of picks that late in the first round will change my opinion on the Rangers. Let's put it to you this way, for you non-hockey people out there. Okay, I'm going to lay out a scenario where the Dallas Cowboys are facing the Carolina Panthers in the NFC Championship game. And you have the Carolina Panthers first-round pick. Do you want them to lose? Or do you want them to win? Because I'll tell you for free right now, there's not a fucking ounce of my body that will ever root for the Dallas Cowboys. I'll take a worse pick. The New York Rangers are a big rival. Not for 1 second would I ever root for the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Panthers so the Eagles have the better pick. The drought for Dallas is significantly more important. The pain and suffering. The fact that their hopes would be so high. The Rangers think they can win the Cup this year. And quite frankly, they have the goaltending to do it. If they can get anything going from their top 2 superstars in Zibanejad and Kreider, who's a goal scorer, if they can get anything out of them, then they might actually figure it out. That's why it's so important for the Panthers to squeeze this out, because if not, the Rangers will get dangerous if Dallas or Edmonton can't hold the Ranger Stars to a nothing burger. That's what Shesterkin is doing for the Rangers right now. He's stealing games for them. They're doing it without top guys performing. That's rare at this time of the year. Here's a stat for you. With Zibanejad and Kreider on the ice at 5-on-5 this series, the Rangers have spent more time in the D zone and less time in the O zone with the puck on their sticks than the previous 2 rounds. The results have shown 0 goals and only 4 scoring chances. That's pretty damn remarkable for the Panthers' view and for it to be tied at the time of this recording. I'm actually in the middle of the first intermission at 0-0 in Game 5 in Madison Square Garden as we sit here right now. I wanted to watch the first before I hit record, so I have it on the left side of me here, and I'll keep an eye if this bleeds into the second period at all. But yeah, I mean, no. I despise New York after that Knicks run, after them running their mouths, after the Jalen Brunson crap, after their fans storm the streets after every playoff win, first round, second round, thinking that they're winning a championship after every single win with the Knicks. Screw off. I value my sanity more than 2 draft slots. The pressure's on Danny Briere then. Go find somebody. That's the job. Go find someone. That's the way I hold my GM accountable. No excuses. Someone's there. I promise you, someone will be available, whether it's the Panthers winning the Stanley Cup and you have the last pick, or if they lose in the Stanley Cup, however it breaks down by the end of it. Someone's there. Go get them. And then we'll talk after we see the selection and we see how that person pans out, okay? But that's the way that I approach this. So I'm warmed up now, if you couldn't tell. All right, let's take a, let's see here, looking through. We had a Flyers one in here. Oh, here it is.
I want to get your thoughts on the whole rumors, obviously, because I got to bring up Flyers, the whole rumors on the Travis Konecny contract extension talks. Because, yeah, the rumor is, his agent wants him to get $10+ million. Obviously, that's a negotiation tactic. He's not going to get paid $10 million a season. But I'm still a little skeptical about signing Travis Konecny long term. This is not a knock on TK the player. I think he's a good player. I just don't think where this franchise is right now, you should not be locking up guys that are almost 30 years old, in their late 20s, that by the time this team is ready to compete, he's going to be in his early to mid-30s. I just don't see it. And I'm not comfortable paying Travis Konecny almost $8.5 million. I understand the cap's going up and all that stuff, but I just don't think that you pay a guy that hasn't really eclipsed point per game and has barely produced 30-goal seasons. He's only done it twice in his career. I don't think you should be paying him that much money. Owen Tippett almost came close to what Konechny's totals were this year, and now he's being paid less than Konechny on what his expected extension is going to be. I think the priority should be trying to lock up some of your younger players, like a Forrester and a Cam York. I think that should be the priority of a rebuilding team. But I'm not saying I wouldn't extend Konechny. I'm very skeptical about extending him long term.
That's okay. I agree with you. I don't know if I feel comfortable with it either, because he's a good player. He is a good player. But if you're going to pay him top money, and I know the cap's going up, as you alluded to, 10 is ridiculous. If they fall in that 8 range, then okay, I think that's probably where the market says he is. So him and his agent is going to fight for that. Another 8-year contract, though, signing these guys to these super crazy long-term deals. All I'm saying is this. If they do sign TK, and it does seem apparent that they really want him here and to keep him here, his personality, his leadership, he has matured as a player. He's matured as a leader too, and really trying to change the culture here. I do believe that there are a lot of tendencies that he brings that I like. So I'm not against it, but I would need a lot more, like a lot more. I need him to develop a ton, like a ton. I need a whole nother step into his game. Seriously, I need him to take over to a different extreme. Not just be a 30-goal scorer and a nice, and I know 30 goals is nothing to sneeze at. 30 goals is solid, but there's a feeling around 30 goals. You could find 2 different 30-goal scorers, and one have a different impact than the other. Other teams have to be aware of when TK is on the ice. Absolutely. But there's other 30-goal scorers that it just hits different. It elevates different. And I need TK. He's a star. I mentioned he's a star all year long for sure. But if you're going to get paid that bag, I need him to take even a bigger monster step. And at 27, he's not 24, 25 anymore. When he's 27, 28, 29, you might kind of be what you are. And a 30-goal scorer's not anything to sneeze at. It's a good player to have on your roster. The only thing I'll disagree with you on is, you say now it's not the time because someone like TK might be mid-30s, early 30s when the team gets good. He's 26, 27 right now, let's say. I mean, this team better be good when he's 29. I'm not worried about him being, even if he's 30, 31, you should still have enough left in the tank to be worthy at 30, 31 years old. Like this rebuild, they're already into this rebuild. Mitch Goff should be here. Cam York has taken big-time strides. Sanheim is making that contract look nowhere as brutal as it once was. I don't know where you are with Couturier, Owen Tippett, Forster. I'm even intrigued by Morgan Frost this year. So I'm just saying that by the time they turn this thing around, if he's mid-30s or a little bit past the early 30s, if he's 33, that's a disaster. That's 6 years. 6 years. This rebuild better be done by 6 years. I'm just saying, So I think maybe our thoughts on the timelines are different. And Amadeo, I love you to death. You know that Amadeo works his ass off for us here. One of the things that we fought about in previous text message exchange was the fact that I demand them to make the playoffs next year because of how close they were this year with the collapse, and he has more wiggle room with the rebuild. And I'm like, no, dude, like this thing is moving in the trajectory of upwards. There's no steps back. This thing needs to keep going on the tracks and going uphill. This better be in where it needs to be when Konecny's 29 and 30 at the max. That's 3 more years. 3 more years. If they're not turning this thing around where they have real sustainability in 3 years, I'm going to be pissed. So I do agree with you of having fear, though, in TK, because I can see a world where he gets paid a lot of money and he's just a good player. But you got to be more than a good player. And he's better than good. He is better than good. I need more. And I think that's why we are all uncomfortable as a fan base. I don't hear many Flyers fans saying, unless I'm not reading the posts, I haven't been as engaged with Flyers Twitter as some normally are, but I don't hear oh yeah, you do it in a heartbeat, no doubt. A lot of the people I've been speaking to have their speculation on it and have their confusion on it on what's the right price tag, because he's given us a lot, and he's given us a ton of goal-scoring ability. But once you get that bag, there's a different level of expectation and a different jump that we need from him.